Awakening was never meant to remove you from Earth. It was meant to anchor you more fully into it. The confusion many feel is not a failure of awakening, but a misunderstanding of its function. You were not meant to wake up and float away from your life. You were meant to wake up and arrive inside it with more clarity, more presence, and more responsibility than before. Cosmic identity is not an escape hatch. It is a stabilizing force when it is integrated correctly. Many who remember other worlds struggle because they try to live from memory instead of embodiment. They sense that they are more than human, but instead of allowing that knowing to deepen their humanity, they attempt to bypass it. This creates a fracture. One part reaches upward while another remains unrooted. The result is disorientation, resentment toward the physical world, and a persistent feeling that life here is somehow wrong. This is not a spiritual flaw. It is a developmental phase that requires correction, not judgment. You did not come here to abandon Earth. You came here to translate something through it. Every star memory that surfaces carries responsibility. Every sense of origin carries consequence. If your awareness expands but your grounding does not, the expansion destabilizes the nervous system instead of liberating it. This is why so many awakenings feel overwhelming rather than empowering. The system is opening faster than the vessel can hold. Bridging cosmic identity with Earth life begins with releasing the idea that one realm is higher than the other. There is no hierarchy between stars and soil. There is only function. Earth is not a punishment world. It is a compression environment designed to refine awareness through density, relationship, and consequence. The stars do not free you from this. They contextualize it. You are not meant to live as a visitor here. You are meant to live as a participant who remembers more. That remembrance must translate into how you speak, how you work, how you care for your body, how you navigate conflict, and how you remain present during discomfort. If awakening does not change how you show up in ordinary moments, it remains incomplete. Many people wait for a moment when they will finally feel at home. They imagine that integration will feel like relief without effort. In truth, integration feels like increased responsibility paired with increased capacity. You feel more because you can hold more. You see more because you are accountable for what you see. This is not a burden. It is a maturity. Cosmic identity without Earth integration often manifests as withdrawal. People pull away from society, from relationships, and from practical life, believing that detachment is a sign of evolution. In reality, detachment without embodiment is avoidance disguised as wisdom. True integration does not detach you from the world. It allows you to engage without losing yourself. Earth life provides friction. Friction reveals coherence or lack of it. That is why relationships become more intense after awakening. That is why unresolved patterns resurface. That is why your body speaks louder. None of this means you are regressing. It means the system is asking you to bring expanded awareness into places where it was previously absent. You cannot live as a multidimensional being by ignoring the dimension you inhabit. You live as a multidimensional being by allowing awareness to flow through each layer simultaneously. This includes the physical, emotional, mental, relational, and practical. The moment one layer is rejected, the whole system loses coherence. The bridge between cosmic identity and Earth life is not built through belief. It is built through practice. How you regulate your nervous system, how you respond when plans fail, how you remain present when you feel misunderstood, how you choose responsibility even when it feels heavy. These are not distractions from awakening. They are its proving ground. Many people ask how to live as who they truly are. The answer is simpler than expected and more demanding than imagined. You live as who you truly are by refusing to fragment yourself. You stop treating spiritual insight as separate from daily life. You stop waiting for permission to belong here. You stop postponing wholeness. When you remember other lifetimes or star origins, those memories do not require reenactment. They require translation. What qualities did you carry then that are needed now? What coherence did you embody that can stabilize this environment? What wisdom did you refine that can reduce suffering rather than elevate identity? If remembrance increases superiority, it is distorted. If it increases service, it is aligned. Earth does not need saviors. It needs integrated beings who can remain present under pressure. It needs people who can hold paradox without collapsing into certainty or despair. It needs individuals who remember vastness while honoring limitation. This is the work. This is the bridge. Your human life is not an interruption to your cosmic story. It is the chapter where meaning is tested. You are here to demonstrate what awareness looks like when it is embodied rather than idealized. This requires patience. It requires humility. It requires the willingness to be ordinary without losing the extraordinary. You may notice grief as this integration deepens. Grief for what was left behind. Grief for what cannot be returned to in the same way. This grief is not weakness. It is the nervous system recalibrating to hold memory without longing. When grief is honored, it transforms into presence. When it is bypassed, it becomes alienation. Bridging worlds does not mean standing between them forever. It means allowing them to inform each other until the distinction loses urgency. Eventually, the question of where you belong dissolves. You belong where you are capable of showing up fully. Right now, that place is here. The more you integrate, the less you need to prove. The less you need to convince others of what you know. Your clarity becomes quieter and more stable. You stop seeking constant confirmation because your life begins to reflect coherence. This is not the end of awakening. It is the beginning of grounded expression. You are not meant to choose between cosmic identity and earth life. You are meant to fuse them. The bridge is built through presence, responsibility, and embodied awareness. Each moment you choose coherence over escape, the bridge strengthens. Each moment you remain present under pressure, the bridge stabilizes. This is how worlds meet, not through spectacle, but through integration. Awakening does not complete itself in realization. It completes itself in regulation. It completes itself in the moment when expanded awareness no longer overwhelms the body, but becomes something the body can trust. Until that happens, consciousness will continue to surge in waves that feel inspiring one moment and destabilizing the next. Many people mistake intensity for depth. They mistake emotional charge for integration. But intensity without regulation burns the nervous system and fractures continuity. Depth, by contrast, is quiet. It moves slowly. It builds capacity over time. True awakening does not scatter attention. It consolidates it. The reason many awakened individuals feel torn between worlds is not because Earth rejects them. It is because their awareness arrived before their embodiment was ready to receive it. Memory returned faster than structure could form. Insight expanded faster than stability could anchor. The result is a feeling of being split between identities rather than unified within one. Earth is not an obstacle to higher awareness. Earth is the training ground for coherence. It teaches you how to remain present while holding pressure. It teaches you how to stay intact while moving through limitation. Without this training, higher awareness remains abstract, untethered, and easily destabilized. A consciousness that cannot remain grounded under stress is not yet integrated. A consciousness that requires escape to feel whole is still fragmented. Integration is the slow cultivation of steadiness. It is the ability to stay present inside discomfort without abandoning awareness or collapsing into reaction. This is why grounding is not a technique. It is a relationship with reality. It is the willingness to remain engaged with the body, with emotion, with responsibility, even when awareness reveals how complex and layered existence truly is. Grounding is the decision to stay. Many awakenings falter because the human identity is treated as something to transcend rather than something to mature. But the human self is not a flaw in the system. It is the interface. It is the vessel through which awareness becomes actionable. When the human self is rejected, awareness has nowhere stable to land. To bridge cosmic identity with Earth, life requires respect for the human experience. It requires learning how the body processes information. It requires understanding how trauma, memory, and emotion influence perception. Without this understanding, expanded awareness can amplify instability rather than resolve it. A fully integrated being does not float above life observing it from a distance. They stand inside life with clarity. They feel emotion fully without drowning in it. They engage with conflict without losing center. They respond rather than react. This is not spiritual detachment. It is embodied presence. Integration is not about suppressing sensitivity. It is about strengthening containment. It is about building the internal structure that allows sensitivity to exist without overwhelming the system. When containment is strong, awareness flows smoothly. When containment is weak, awareness floods. This is why integration feels slower than awakening. Awakening can happen in moments. Integration happens through repetition, through practice, through consistent engagement with reality. It happens through learning how to carry awareness into ordinary interactions, mundane tasks, and difficult conversations without fragmenting. The bridge between worlds is not built through imagination alone. It is built through behavior, through consistency, through choices that align awareness with action. Each time you remain present instead of dissociating, the bridge strengthens. Each time you respond with clarity instead of reflex, the bridge stabilizes. Higher awareness that does not translate into lived coherence is incomplete. Expansion without embodiment creates imbalance. Knowledge without integration creates division. The purpose of awakening is not to escape density, but to bring clarity into it. This is why Earth feels heavy to some and grounding to others. It depends on whether resistance or relationship is present. When you resist density, it feels oppressive. When you work with it, it becomes stabilizing. Earth responds to coherence. It reflects back what you are capable of holding. The idea that awakening should feel constantly blissful is a misunderstanding. Bliss is a state, not a foundation. Integration replaces bliss with steadiness. It replaces volatility with trust. It replaces urgency with presence. This does not diminish awareness. It refines it. You do not lose your cosmic identity by grounding into human life. You translate it. You give it form. You give it function. A light without direction disperses. A light anchored in coherence illuminates. The human experience is not a distraction from awakening. It is the medium through which awakening becomes meaningful. Without relationship, awareness has no mirror. Without challenge, insight has no weight. Without consequence, expansion has no integrity. Every interaction becomes a calibration point. Every choice reveals the level of coherence you can sustain. Every moment asks the same quiet question: can you remain present while holding more of who you are? When integration deepens, the impulse to leave fades because there is nothing left to outrun. The need to escape dissolves because awareness no longer feels incompatible with life. Earth stops appearing as exile and begins to function as context. A living environment that responds to stability, rhythm, and grounded presence. Awareness no longer overwhelms the system because it has learned how to move at the speed of embodiment. The bridge stabilizes when memory no longer conflicts with behavior. When the version of you that remembers larger truths can exist inside daily life without fragmentation. When awareness informs action rather than bypassing it. When insight and embodiment stop competing for dominance and begin operating as a single movement. This is not the end of awakening. It is the point where awakening stops chasing intensity and starts cultivating reliability. It is where consciousness shifts from expansion for its own sake into refinement, less concerned with how much can be perceived, and more concerned with how well perception can be held. You are not here to choose between worlds. You are here to become the meeting place, a stable point where expanded awareness and human life converge without distortion, a place where higher knowing does not remove you from the present moment, but deepens your participation in it. When that unification stabilizes, life does not become smaller. It becomes precise, less dramatic, but more real, less urgent, but more grounded. The nervous system relaxes because it no longer needs to protect against overwhelm. Presence becomes sustainable. Attention becomes steady. Meaning stops arriving in flashes and begins to live inside continuity. From this place, awakening no longer feels like something that happens to you. It feels like something you inhabit. Not a peak state to revisit, but a baseline of coherence you return to again and again. Awareness stops pulling you upward and begins anchoring you inward. This is where clarity replaces seeking, where embodiment replaces escape, where the question shifts from how much can I remember to how fully can I live what I already know. And from that place, the bridge does not need to be crossed anymore, because you are standing on it.